Pine Creek Ski Resort. I just got here and I like it already. Friendly folks. Most people park here behind the day lodge. You buy your ticket and then you ski down to the lift, as it should be at every ski area. The parking should always be above the lift. Right next to the chair, interesting terrain, like giant steps, a little flatter, then it goes steeply down. 1,450 vertical feet. That's not small. And something like 42 named trails. And wonderful views in the distance. I am now on the longest trail, which is over 2 miles long. But it's not a road. It's a nice, easy run. Very wide. Some ungroomed on the side if you want to. And beautiful views. And it just keeps on going in like stairs. You know, up into the valley, down into the valley, up the next hill. This is part of that longest trail. This is the easier part, or if you prefer a little more challenge, there's some ungroomed in the middle, and then there's a steeper hill here. Yeah. And now the trail continues through more views, wide terrain, and also some tree options here too. Yeah. So yeah, you probably heard some scraping there. Conditions are somewhat spring-like, you know. I wouldn't call it exactly ice, but kind of solid snow. Very solid, hard base with a sprinkling of, you know, powder on top. And it's a warm day. It is February 6th today. It's a Friday. That means there's hardly anybody here. And, oh, except for some school children who came here in more than one bus. Several school buses just showed up. So I guess it's part of their ski school day. And I'm here in just this light fleece jacket because it's just a little too hot. Mostly nobody here. Nobody in the chairlift. And then here's one of the runs. The runs are mostly quite wide and all of them with beautiful views. Like, wow. So I got here on this groomed trail, but if there was a little bit more snow, I would love to do this. It's ungroomed. Well, with what little snow they got this year, Pine Creek has done an excellent job with their groomers. Pine Creek is quite a sizable ski area, and everything you see here is skiable. Yeah. And this is only half the mountain, less than half. And then the base area is down there in that canyon somewhere. Well, it is now a little after noon, and finally there's a little more people here. So far I have hardly seen anybody. This quad chair used to be just a single chair some years ago. And this relatively steep trail will take us down to the day lodge. Of course, the experience is never complete without a visit to the day lodge and the cafeteria. I am having a soup of the day, broccoli and cheese, and a brookie. That's a cookie with a brownie. A brookie. Pine Creek was a very pleasant surprise. A lot more vertical, a lot wider runs than I expected. a lot fewer crowds, even with 2 busloads of kids, and just, oh, great tree skiing. If only there was a little more snow. This is a really bad year, so not representative of what it is normally. But it's a great place. Come visit. A lot of landscape like this throughout Wyoming. The White Pine Resort that's a day lodge. The parking lot is way back there, and it's at the same level as the first lift. So at least you don't have to climb up. Yeah. So White Pine ski area, about 1,000 vertical feet. Somehow it feels like more, but it's good. And I didn't have to walk to the lift, not uphill, I mean. It's on the same level as the parking lot. And so far I like what I see. A great variety of terrain, a lot of blues, blacks, some even double blacks it seems to me. Anyway, fun, fun, fun. Great views from the top, and down we go. A race course set up for kids. White Pine is located near the town of Pineville, which is quite sizable town, only 20 minutes away. Wide groomers, nobody on them. It looks like today everybody's on the race course. This is a top to bottom mogul run. Unfortunately, the light is a bit flat. You can't see the moguls very well. And right next to it, right under the lift, is another mogul run, actually a little less steep than the one we just saw. It's amazing how quiet it is here and how uncrowded on a sunny Saturday morning. Here's another more or less top to bottom mogul field. And now it's a little more visible because the sun is peeking out. And then right under the chair also. So 46 stairs from the parking lot to the first lift. Yeah, lots of stairs. Overall, quite steep terrain. Yeah. It's a Sunday, but there's not very many people here. So we'll see. Maybe they'll come later when the snow softens up a bit. The shorter of the two chairlifts has a mid-station offloading station, but if you want, you can keep on going a little bit higher. There's the town of Jackson down below, not very big. And then Snow King is right here. And then Jackson Hole is somewhere in them there mountains over there. And on the other side of the ski area, there's a gondola and a parallel chairlift. I am not sure if the chairlift goes all the way to the top, but the gondola sure does. At the top of the mountain, there's a restaurant and even a shop for shopping and bathrooms, of course. And some people actually take the gondola down. They came just for sightseeing. Yeah. Then from the gondola, well, you can go straight down, but that's rough on a day like today. Or you can go into the saddle, and from there are several ways down. Near the top of the gondola, there's kind of a beginner area here. Nobody on it right now. And then there's this little lift to bring you back up to the top. So this is a black run called Grizzly, and there's Jackson Hole. I mean, sorry, the town of Jackson. The town of Jackson. And Jackson Hole is probably somewhere up there. Yeah. Well, I made it down Grizzly after all, because there was no alternative. I was like in a dead end. It's Grizzly or nothing, or climb back up. And I did it in flat light. The sun is starting to show up a little, so now the moguls are a little more visible, maybe. Challenging mountain. Lots of blacks, double blacks that are never groomed, all full of moguls. And most of the first part of winter is relatively flat light, so you can't see the moguls very well. A local here told me that the front side of the mountain doesn't get good sunshine until sometime in March, I think. Yeah. When you take that gondola all the way to the top, then there's another new lift just in the past 3 or 4 years that serves the backside, which looks very inviting, but unfortunately that lift was not open today. Maybe because of low snow, I'm not sure why. Jackson Hole. As if Snow King wasn't steep enough, here's Jackson Hole, even steeper. everywhere there are several parking lots around Jackson Hole. They all charge $35 or $45 depending on the time of the week or something. This one here, kind of a dirt parking lot, is the only one that's free, but it's something like 6 or 7 miles away from the ski area. So from here we'll have to take the bus. And then more stairs. God knows how much farther up. So snoking will exhaust your muscles. Jackson Hole will exhaust your wallet and your muscles. After a lot of stairs, you finally get to the first lifts. Oh, and then more stairs. One ski in, ski out lodging. How about over $400 a night? I don't know what I was thinking when I said $400 a night. No, $1,400 a night. And you better reserve well ahead of time, otherwise the price might go up again like everywhere else. Steep trails, and a lift ticket. Nobody knows how much it costs because it changes almost every day. Some like latter half of February costs more than the first half of February, but then it changes from depending on how many days in advance you purchase. One of the prices I got was $250 for a regular adult. A senior gets it for $224. Not much of a discount, huh? And it's busy. Stairs and more stairs. And of course, lift lines. This one is relatively short because it's kind of late in the day. Fortunately, there's more affordable lodging in the town of Jackson, where lodging could cost you $200, $300, $400 or $400 plus, which sounds very reasonable compared to $1,400 here. But everywhere else in Wyoming I've stayed so far, I've paid between $50 and $75 a night. So let's say I stay in Jackson on the low end at say $250. And a lift ticket here, if I wasn't senior, would cost me $250. So that's $500 just for one single person. And of course that doesn't include food. Here in the base village I have not seen a cafeteria. It's all sit-down restaurants. And more stairs. You have to put up with a 49-minute bus ride in the morning from Jackson to the ski area, and then in the evening again from the ski area to Jackson. It quickly adds up to probably $600 or more for one person. Now, if I had a family, wife and 2 kids or something, they're pricing themselves out of reach for most people. Like I wouldn't bring my ski club here. It's just way too expensive and way too demanding terrain. And for what? Then a lot of the younger people end up spending maybe an hour or more just standing at the top of what's that cooler called? Just to test their cojones and to test their manhood. They keep peering down, trying to figure out what are the chances of survival. And so, you're wasting big money on nothing. So, I don't know. Jackson Hole is one place that I would not particularly want to come back in Wyoming. Everything else I've skied in Wyoming so far has been really good. Okay, Grand Targhee, here we come. Yeah. Grand Targhee is in Wyoming, but the only access road is from Idaho, from a town called Driggs. It rained last night in Driggs, and it snowed here. Look. Well, Grand Targhee is known for its snow, but today it is very foggy, very foggy. I think I just emerged out of the fog, and visibility is a little bit better here. But look in the distance, there's more dark skies and fog. Wow, what a change of weather. It was sunny at Snow King and sunny at Jackson Hole. But what a change of weather. It's nice to have some fresh snow on the ground, but it's also windy, and the worst thing is the fog, because I would say the upper 3/4, maybe even the upper 4/5 of the mountain is enveloped in deep fog. And I fell once in that fog, because it's a almost total whiteout. You know, you can't really see the terrain very well. So, oh man, one should come here when the weather is better. Like, how about some fresh powder followed by some sun? Judging by the number of skis, a lot of people are taking an early lunch break, because it is really foggy. There's a short line at the lift, and then almost as soon as you go up, you disappear in the fog. So it just started snowing, and my car has already accumulated a bit of snow. Yeah. Well, very mixed feelings about Grand Targhee. I thought it would be better than Jackson Hole, more down to earth, more customer oriented rather than just grabbing your money. But no, everything points to the fact that they're just the same that way. Corporate something or other, corporate interests are more important than customer satisfaction. I could go on and on. I'll just say one thing. There was a interesting place that I spotted as I was coming to purchase a ticket in the village. It said they serve breakfast. I said, yeah, I wouldn't mind having some breakfast, but let me try to get in a couple of runs first. So when I came to breakfast, I noticed a sign. It says breakfast is served till 11. It was 11:01, and by the way, it was actually 11 exactly when I was there, but the server lady was busy someplace else doing God knows what, so I just stood there for a while. By the time she came back, it was 11:01, and she said, "Sorry, we're now on our lunch menu." Why is it so difficult to throw a couple of eggs in a pan and scramble them? But no, they don't care about customer satisfaction. It's just by the rules. It's lunchtime, so you better order a hamburger, buddy, for $25. I don't know. It was a disappointment. At first, I thought I would love it because there was all this fresh snow. But no, it's the snow and the fog. The visibility was just well, I did get a little taste of it. It might be nice if you come to Grand Targhee. Make sure you do it in good weather, sunny weather. Don't trust anything else. I'm taking a day of rest in a town called Livingston, Montana. The reason I dropped up into Montana from Wyoming is because there's one ski area in Montana that I haven't skied yet because it's so far east. And so since I'm in Wyoming already, I might as well do that last one. It's called Red Lodge. Well, there's a town called Red Lodge and then Red Lodge ski area. And but first I need to rest. My muscles are hurting, you know. I found the hotel, very nice hotel, Econo Lodge. I remember hearing a joke of some sort once, some 30 years ago, that was something about cheap lodgings, and it specifically mentioned Econo Lodge. But it turns out the Econo Lodge is so far one of the best I've been in. It has the same amenities, very spacious rooms, large TV, refrigerator, microwave, you name it, it's got it. But it had the best breakfast, not just cereal and coffee or maybe some toast. This place also has a hot breakfast, like scrambled eggs and sausages, you know, excellent. Red Lodge ski area has some serious vertical, 2,400 vertical feet and something like 6 lifts. There's a lot more behind the ridge here, and then there's something here, but they're just making snow here. It's a little bit dry on this side. From the parking lot, it's quite a nice little village here, including a beer stube, sales, skis and other snow sports stuff, Grizzly Peak outdoors, and the main lodge with lift tickets and a cafeteria up above. Again, a lot of stairs to get up from the day lodge to an express lift. Hey, all right, this is no small ski area. I'm on a lift that takes me all the way to the top, but as you can see, there are still some trails there that are I was told that this particular place is closed to skiers, but from the top I can go either left or right, and there'll be more snow there. So this lift all the way to the top, it serves mainly black trails. I guess there are 2 blues, one on each side, and then everything else is black and a double black. Oh, drainage. There's a Midway Lodge, but there's nobody there now. It's probably open only on weekends or on holidays. Red Lodge is open 7 days a week, but this is midweek and there's lots of empty chairs. I have skied all of Montana a couple of years ago, This winter I am devoting to Wyoming. I'm skiing all of Wyoming, but this is also a good opportunity to ski the last ski area I haven't yet visited in Montana, Red Lodge, because it's kind of closer to Wyoming than it is to the rest of Montana. Anyway, I'm having a great time here. Red Lodge ski area is a little complicated layout, so you better have a trail map. That there is the top of the beginner lift, and then they go down the other side of the ridge. The front side here facing the sun is a little too barren right now. Then there's some more trails over there, and in fact there's a backside behind this hill. Unfortunately today that lift isn't operating. And then this here seems to be the central part. There's a lift there and a second lift connecting with it that form like the central core of the ski area. Yeah, lots of empty chairs today, and it turned out to be a perfectly sunny day. Blue sky, beautiful. 2,400 vertical feet. That's quite a lot of vertical. Oh, and by the way, Red Lodge ski area is on the Indy Pass. So I could ski here 2 days for free. I had a lot of fun today. And with this, I'm done with Montana. I have now skied every ski area in Montana. On the drive between Grey Bull and Antelope Butte ski area, there's this very impressive canyon and no snow visible really. Very impressive canyon and a deep, deep valley below. Well, that was an impressive mountain pass, but it turns out that on the other side of that pass is quite a lot of snow actually. And here's the Antelope Butte ski area. I like it how there are all kinds of intersections and the trails meander through the forest. I love that. And I like it how they left some tree islands standing. First impression, there's more black trails here than blue. And I'm not sure if there's anything green. Oh yes, there is near the bottom. Yeah, right here at the bottom there is some beginner terrain, and they have their own lift. Yeah, that's good. Heaven's Door is black. Los Tango is blue. Your choice. This or this. So I chose Last Tango, but it turns out it's full of moguls. Yeah. Cafeteria is nice and spacious, but they don't have soup. So far, everywhere in Wyoming I went, they had soup, but not here. Then I would have liked maybe a spicy sausage. No, they only have regular hot dogs. But okay, I'll take a regular hot dog if I can have it with sauerkraut. Sorry, no sauerkraut. But anyway, it's a great ski area and I enjoyed skiing it. Did I mention that Antelope Butte is on the Indy Pass? So I could ski here for free for 2 days. Not bad, not bad. On the way back from the Antelope Butte ski area, I had to go through this very impressive canyon. They call that thing there a pyramid. Not very crowded, as you can tell by the number of empty chairs. And there's not many ski areas where the chairlift goes right over some real big cliffs. Yeah, look at them cliffs. And then there's another one here. Great views from the top. From the top of the chairlift, fortunately there is also something easier, not just the double blacks. So as you're riding the lift up, everything near the lift, both left and right, is black or double black. In fact, everything on the right side is most likely double black, everything. And here I am at the ski area boundary on the far left of the trail map. And look at that, there's one blue and another blue over here. There has been about an inch of fresh snow overnight, and so I got a little bit of powder here. Those are my tracks. From the top of the chairlift, if you turn left, and there's a whole wide open terrain, and there's nobody on it. So there's the lake, and the two lodges, the Lake Lodge and the Ski Lodge, are maybe about a half a mile apart or so. And the Lake Lodge is somewhere behind this ridge. And then I'm standing by the Ski Lodge. At first, when I looked at it on Google Maps, I thought that the ski area would be located somewhere, you know, between the highway and the lake. But the highway is somewhere in that forest near the top of the lake. The brown line here is the access road, and there's not much room here for For a ski area, I was puzzled. And then it turned out that the ski area is not really between the road and the lake, but rather on a totally separate hill that looms over the lake. And there it is. An older name for the ski area is Powder Pass Ski Area. Hoggaden Basin Ski Area. Where's the mountain? Actually, we are on top of the ski area, on top of the hill. This is an upside down ski area. From the parking lot, we ski down and there's a lift. On a good snow day, this would be an interesting Black Diamond trail. But unfortunately, today is, well, this whole year has been the worst year in decades everywhere in the West. So we're riding up into the sun. 600 vertical feet of relatively challenging terrain. On this side of the mountain, there's 2 green trails, 2 blues, and 5 blacks. But there is also a wonderful terrain here for beginners. Perfect place to learn how to ski. Yeah. Even some tree skiing when there's more snow here. Hoggaden Basin is located only about half an hour from the town of Casper, and to my knowledge, Casper is probably the biggest city I've seen so far in Wyoming. I haven't seen Laramie and Cheyenne yet, but yeah, so they've got a big town, lots of customers, only half an hour away. Anyway, it's interesting that town names such as Buffalo, Cheyenne, Laramie, Cody, they seem to invoke the old Wild West. Although Casper, the town, doesn't seem to invoke visions of the Wild West. It's more like Casper the Friendly Ghost. On this side of the hill, there's 4 blue trails and 5 black ones. There is a race here today. The parking lot is pretty darn full, but there was no lines. Slopes were not crowded. I pretty much skied to the lift directly, or maybe I had 2 people in front of me. I have seen a lot of signs like this throughout Wyoming, which means that in a regular year there's a lot more snow everywhere. As I'm driving from Laramie to Snowy Range, I kept seeing these hills from a distance. It looks like a snowy range. So I thought, hey, this could be the ski area. But the ski area is actually sort of behind this range. You drive somewhere in that direction, and then the road goes through the hills, and the ski area is on the other side. Interesting terrain. There's a mix of blues and blacks, and there's a total of 4 lifts, and all the trails not only meander through the forest, kind of like that one there, but also they intersect and crisscross, and it's always interesting. You start on one trail, you end up somewhere else. There's the lift. There's the gates. No line at all. No line at all. A few kids are waiting here for their parents or somebody. Snowy Range by Laramie, about a little over half an hour from Laramie. It seems to have the best snow coverage of all the ski areas I've seen so far. And I did come across 1 or 2 thin spots, usually on a road that traverses a ski area, but everything else I see here is just beautiful. It's a Monday, but not just any Monday, it's President's Day, and the parking lot is pretty darn full, and yet there are no crowds. Look at all those empty chairs on the chairlift, and no lift lines. There are lots of blue trails here, and then there's some black and Mowgli. I am now on the 4th lift, the farthest away from the lodge. And look at that, empty chairs, empty slopes, even though it's a holiday and a sunny day. Great view of the valley below. Yeah. Well, another lift, and again, no line. When these 2 are gone, there's nobody. Yeah, there we go. And here comes an empty chair. The only problem is the signs are too small, hard to read from a distance. You have to come real close to be able to read it. Beginners have their own terrain there, and then not far from the lodge.